All right, now let me explain the financial aid situation a little bit. Okay, you should be reading this yourself, but let me just quickly go over it. Okay, this is on page 6. So if you're EFCI member, then that means you're qualified. You can apply for financial aid. You're qualified to receive 1/3 of the total expense plus $100 extra support because the airfare is just so expensive now. Also, you can fundraise up to 1/3 of your total expense. Okay, and the detail is online. So for example, if your total expense is 1,800, you will receive 600 plus 100. This is financial aid, and you can fundraise up to 600. Anything you fundraise more will go to other people who does not fundraise enough. If everyone fundraise enough, this will go toward church mission fund. Okay. Now, if you have financial need, okay, if you because only you know your financial situation. We expect everyone to pay about 1/3, so that's about 600. Okay, this is just because I want you to actually pay something. So this is not just a free trip. But if you have financial situation, if you have financial need, you can ask to fundraise the rest. You can ask to fundraise the 2/3. However, you need to fill a form. This is called M17 form. Okay, it's very clearly explained if you go online. Okay, right? You have read it, right? It's very clearly explained. You just need to file a very simple M17 form and ask your congregation's elder or pastor to sign that petition. Then you can fundraise up to the rest. Okay. Now, if your situation, you actually need church to give you the money ahead of time before your trip because of your financial situation, you can also use the M17 form for that. Okay, and explain the detail on how to do that. Okay, now if you attend ESCI but you're not a member, you can still do fundraise. Okay, just that you do not receive the financial aid part. Okay, now if you are not ESCI attendee, like Justin, sorry, not to single you out, but we hope that your church handles the fundraising. But if your church really have no one and does not want to handle the logistic, then you can actually do fundraise through ESCI. Okay. Of course, you guys can go fundraise anywhere. When we talk about fundraise through ESCI, meaning the check is payable to ESCI, we will issue the tax receipt. Okay. You can go fundraise anywhere. You don't have to fundraise here, right? You can go to your relatives and friends. Okay. But when you say fundraise to ESCI, it means that that their donation checks pay to ESCI. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me know if you need that or
I'm working that out.
Okay. So let me know later.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions on that? Yes.
如果在台湾有人讲风险的话，
是。
他们会拿到 donation receipt 吗？还是说这没有？太复杂。
我们没有做过对，但是如果他是，就是如果他需要的话，应该是可以，但是他最好可能是要有一个美国的地址可以给。
所以我们还是 prefer 美金就是。
他可以是给台湾，可是给台币，可是他可能其实我们没有这个，对，应该是要美金啊，对，而他需要有一个美国的 name 跟一个地址。因为他如果没有一个地址，我想我们到时候也不可能寄到台湾啊，对，所以我想他是需要一个名字跟一个地址，那我们就可以。
但是 donation receipt 应该就不会，如果他我再问你好。
OK， 好。OK， any other questions? Okay. All right. Okay. Now on getting the money, this is on bottom of page 6. Okay. There are 3 things you need to do, and also explain detail online. So you still need to read online. Okay. I also have the address here. Number 1, you need to put all the personal expense receipts. So keep your personal receipts. Okay, all the personal expense. Online it tells you what qualifies as a personal expense. Your airfare and etc. Okay. Your 250. All these qualifies for personal expense. Keep all these receipts. Okay. And type up a summary Excel file and put that in an envelope. On the envelope, state your name, mission name, meaning Taiwan Mission 2013, and total expense amount. Okay, put that in a single envelope. Okay. Number 2 is you put all the fundraised checks or cash and a summary Excel file in another envelope. Again, on the envelope stating these. Okay. I also have the Excel file sample online. Okay, if you go online, it has the sample on how to type these Excel files. Okay, so those are the 2 envelopes. The third envelope is you need to provide yet another empty envelope, self-addressed, stamped. Okay, so we will mail out your reimbursement and financial aid. Okay, at the end. If you don't provide it, you're just not going to get it. Okay, because there's no way we can go find every one of you. It's just too much trouble, right? Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so you need to provide all these when you come back. All these is due after two weeks, within 2 weeks of your return. Okay, so within 2 weeks you need to give me all these. Okay, so that's what you need to do for you to get the money. Okay, if you don't turn it in, we're not gonna find you. Okay, thank you for saving church money, right? Okay, so we're not gonna go hunt you down. Okay, because there's an absolute deadline. That deadline is also online. If you pass that absolute deadline, we're not gonna do anything. Okay, so make sure you follow these deadlines. Okay, all right. Part D. Let's go to page 7 on Part D. Here's the list of forms and deadline. Okay. On the thing that's also circulating, if you're exempt for a certain form, I'll put EX on there already. Okay. So if you saw an EX, that means you don't need to turn that in. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Alright, so all of you need to turn your M1 form in, which I have almost everyone's. Okay. M2 form, I think I'm still missing 2, and you need to turn that in. Okay. And the M2 form is good for 3 years. Okay. So if you want to join mission next year, you don't have to have another reference form. Okay. And if you're already a church, a small group leader or advisor, seminarian, then you also don't need the reference form. M3 form, that is the release of liability and proof of health insurance. That I need everyone to do it. Okay. And I need that everyone, even if you have gone to mission, you need to do it every year. Okay. So that is something we need next time, our second training. Okay. That I need from everyone. All these forms are available online. Okay. Alright, M4 and M5. M4 is I want you to write out the basic Christianity tenets, okay, the 4 spiritual laws, and personal evangelism record. Okay, if you have done it already, it's already on file. I'm not going to push you to do it, but it's still good that you find 5 people to do evangelism before you go. Okay, if you have not filled M4 before, you need to do it. This is due at the last US training. So you have about 6 weeks for you to find 5 people to do it. Okay, and you need to actually write down the basic Christianity tenets. Okay? It can be typed. Okay, but you really need to do it. Now the reason is, if you have not done it, just by getting you on a plane, fly you to Taiwan, it won't make you overnight that all of a sudden you know how to do it. Okay. So you need to do it because we're not there for vacation. We're there to spread the gospel, right? If you have not done it in the United States, if you have not found a friend or relative to do it, I don't think by going there all of a sudden you just be able to do it. Okay, there's no way. Okay, so you have to do it before you go. Okay, and we will require that of you. Okay, again, if you don't have your forms, then we will not have any financial aid. Okay, because all these are required, so you need to do it. Okay, for M5, this is your personal testimony. Pastor Randy already shared. The most important thing is your story, right? So we also want you to write down your personal testimony because we will have time for you to share on your personal testimony. When we go back to Taiwan for on-site training, we'll ask everyone to share your personal testimony too. Okay, and in classroom, there will also be time for you to share your personal testimony. So we want you to get very familiarized with how you share your personal testimony. Okay, so that's also due. Okay, number 6, this is also everyone has to do it. This is basically to find 20 prayer partners. Now let me say it very, very clearly. we don't want to see the day before you leave on that Sunday, you just randomly find whoever you bump into, and because you need to get that 20 signature. That's not the point. We really want you to actually prepare early to find your prayer partners, people who really can pray for you. Okay. This is not just, you just want to get to that number because we require you to have 20 signatures. But the important thing is you really have these 20 people who are really willing to pray for you. Okay. Yeah. So I don't want to see, everyone doing it on, June 15th, okay, or June 9th, and everyone during lunchtime is looking for people to sign, okay. I want you to actually prepare early, okay. Now, in terms of prayer letter, we also have the fundraising prayer letter sample online, okay. So if you have never written it before, you can look at the sample, okay. At the end of the prayer letter, the sample also shows it. I want you to give them the website that they can go online and pray for us. Okay, we will be updating our prayer letter online when we're in Taiwan. So make sure you give them the website. Okay, and we'll talk about the website later. Okay, but I want to make sure you give them every person who wants to pray for you. Make sure you give them that website so they can continue to pray for you. Okay, so this is just for you not just for you to get 20 signatures, it's also for you to give them that website. Okay, yes?
Are you able to have more than 20?
Yeah, you can do more than 20, of course, yeah. Okay. Alright, any questions on the forms? Okay, everyone is good? Okay. Alright, E, this is skit practice, okay? We will talk about it later. Okay, then we'll have Kitty arrange that later. But just for you to know, other than the 4 training here, we will also have skit rehearsal to practice skits. Okay, because we'll have total of 3 skits, right? One is King of Hearts. Okay, yeah. If you don't like it, too bad. Yeah, so we'll do King of Hearts, okay. We also need to do 2 more skits that's required by VGM. We'll do those 2 skits. Those are usually Bible stories, okay, and like modern version of Bible stories, okay. They will give you scripts, and actually, King of Hearts, there's no lines, right?
There's no, it's just silence.
Yeah, it's a silent skit, right? The other 2 skits, you actually need to memorize these lines, and it's not easy. Okay, so it's actually I think some of the sentences is kind of awkward. So, but you need to memorize these because we need to perform these 2 BGM skits. Okay. We'll talk about the job description later, and you'll know who is going to be in charge of what. Okay, but we need to start practicing King of Hearts when you're in the States. Okay, so we're also going to require you more time on Saturday and Sunday, even when there's no mission training, because there's going to be skit rehearsal, maybe at least twice.